Autie vs. Autie Meteor Part 184, Hawk. The 16th episode of Hawk, which aired in 1966, is largely seen as one of the first, if not the first, explicit uses of autistic representation in media, so obviously I had to check it out. And it definitely has its issues, but I would honestly fit it right around with some of the rep I saw in the early 2000s, so I was overall kind of impressed. The episode is about a detective trying to solve a murder that was only witnessed by a non-speaking autistic teenage girl, and so he interacts with her and her mother to try to get her to identify the suspect. Overall, it was fairly deficit-oriented in like a, she may not be able to understand anything, and there's no hope for her way, and there was a lot of apologizing that she was the way that she was, and also had some information about how autism works that we obviously no longer use today. But at the same time, they treated her like a human being and were worried about making her do too much or overwhelming her or taking advantage of her to any degree. The character is also very conventionally attractive, and so the teenage murderer ends up being confused as to how she can both be so beautiful and the way that she is, and then they end up making out, which is deeply confusing to all parties involved, but that felt pretty on brand. I can't really speak to the quality of her acting as an autistic character because it felt more or less in line with how young women in 1960s shows and films were expected to act anyway, like fairly aloof, existing just to be attractive and not really to interact with or react to anything going on around them. But again, overall, I have seen both worse and equivalent quality of media representation of autistics in the modern day, which I found incredibly interesting. And there's also something that makes my heart happy about having the first autistic in media be a girl who likes to listen to music, given the young white boys who like silence and numbers and trains trends that would take media by storm in the following decades.